So do we do like jumping jacks? Is that how we get ready for jumping season?
I mean, that's literally all jumping season is, so...
So yeah, got in one.
Yeah. It's also how you prevent the coronavirus.
Jumping season?
Yeah.
Was it because lizards can't get it?
Well, it's because jumping season protects you.
It's not a sick-ass hat that shoots red lightning?
No.
Welcome back to the Bad Gamecast. This is Jake.
I'm Jason!
And this time we played Wytchsun, Elleros Origins.
Yes, not to be confused with... I actually don't know what they call the fake one that they sold the first part as before.
I think it's the other way around. Elleros Origins, Wytchsun.
Which is not what it's called anymore, if you can still find its page, because potential shady dealings.
Yeah, potential, yeah.
Yeah, so we'll get, I don't know, do we cover that first or later?
Okay, let me do my normal thing, which is very truncated this time, because I don't know when this game came out.
Right.
I don't, because it's still early access. It has been for what we can assume to be at least 5 years at this point, because you can find video clips of it from 2015 and 16 and 17, assuming 18, 19, and we played it on Twitch this year. So yeah, fucking count it. So all I got is developed and produced by Rampage Interactive.
Yes. Which, if you can find the first page, and unfortunately our current access to the internet's a bit limited, so I can't look it up, because I totally would. They put out what they called like chapter 1, or the first chapter, right? It was like Elleros Origins, Wytchsun, chapter 1. And in it they were like, hey, this is, the alpha version, whatever, what do you call them? Early access. That's it. Those are words.
Would alpha not have covered it? Sure.
Yeah. But, it's all that. This is the pre-version of the game that we're still testing and working on. If you buy this, then you get the updates, blah, blah, blah. And then, after it was reviewed really poorly, and they sold who knows how many, probably very, very few, they decided to change the name. So it no longer contains either Wytchsun or Elleros in the name of the, first one. It's now something completely different. They changed the producer and developer off of their names, and then they just kind of canceled it without telling anyone. So that's, again, it is currently, if you go to their page on Steam, it doesn't show up because they changed the producer and developer of it. Despite the fact that they produced and developed it. And then they put out Wytchsun. Totally different. And, I don't think the first one sold that much, so it doesn't necessarily even feel like they're potentially, scamming people out of money, which they are.
Yeah.
But I can't imagine they're scamming that many people. Still scummy, but it feels more like they're trying to dodge the Steam reviews and just oh, hey, we put out this horrible broken product and everyone's telling that it's horrible and broken. And now we're just going to shuffle it into a corner, pretend it never existed, change all of its names so it's impossible to find and delist it from the store.
See, now I was wondering if it had anything to do with the, let's say, borrowed audio assets.
I would say that if they changed them from the old version to the new one, but the new one still has them. So that's not something they're running from, I guess. Yeah, so then the new one, Wytchsun Elleros Origins, is also currently not findable on Steam. Pull up your Steam, punch that in, and it'll say no results. If you really want to find this game, you in fact have to have already heard of it, which was my big first mistake. Then type it into Google, because you can still find Google links that will link you to the Steam page, because it's not removed from the store, it's just delisted. Again, another weird, are they just trying to hide and wait for the bad press to blow over? There isn't even that much bad press. You can find one person on YouTube who has a video about how this game steals audio assets, and the thing I just explained where they took the old version and progressively changed all of the things to basically bury it.
Yeah.
But that's it. It's not like it showed up on any big news sites. It's this tiny developer making a game that they're trying to bury the first version of the game they put out.
I mean,
and now they're hiding this version as well. It's very weird.
It is, and I am curious, but not enough that I want to actually, like, I don't know, try and email these people and ask them what the hell. Not that I would expect a direct answer from them, given, like, everything about this whole steaming pile. Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird in ways that I don't approve. Like, when we get into the actual game, you're going to hear some positives, lots of negatives, but there are some positives. But, like, I'm going to tell you right now, no matter what, I will tell you not to spend money on this game, just because I don't think the developer deserves it.
No.
When they're doing shady shit like that, that's an immediate red flag for they're trying to do shady shit just to not, push this product of badness.
Yeah. And it's weird because it isn't like shovelware.
No.
Because it seems like it's at one point they put some time into it, and then like the state that it's in now, it never got there.
Yeah.
But like it's more than pumped out crap, but fuck if there's not a lot there.
Yeah, it's weird. It definitely feels like something that they initially really liked working on, right? That they were interested in making this game. And then once, we've talked about this before, that they really started making stuff. And then bills started happening and they didn't have any money. And then they potentially just threw it on Steam. Like, look, this is what we have. And people were rightfully not very receptive to this game's a broken mess. And then now they're trying to backpedal and it's still a broken mess. And that leads us, I guess, into the game.
So, how do you even begin to describe this? It's like somebody wanted to make them a Skyrim.
Oh, 100%. That is all this game is. It is, hey, what if we made our own version of Skyrim? We can make our own lore and make that as weird or interesting as we want, and then we will do basically Skyrim. And that's not a terrible idea.
Awful fucking ambitious, but not a terrible idea.
It's very ambitious, because you have to realize Skyrim was made by one of the largest game producing companies in the world. This is not a small game. And
it is also not their first rodeo making a game like that.
Correct. Like, this Skyrim was made by, again, a massive studio who has made similar sized games with the same engine that they're currently using in the past. Like, wow.
Yeah.
So that is a lot of ambition. And I am fine with a lot of ambition. You just have to kind of realize what you're, making, and potentially the development cycle of a game that size. For full studios, games that big are still only, 5 years development, 7 years development, depending on how much you start with.
Depending, yeah.
If you're Bethesda, it's probably on the shorter end because they were using the same engine and they already had like ideas and assets.
Mm-hmm.
But like, if you were to ask a studio to build something new like this, that's probably what they would tell you. Is they're going to need years. Okay. I've seen great indie games. I think you might want to curtail how open you make it. And honestly, the size of the area that they have done so far isn't too terrible. Now, there's lots of shit wrong with it. Like, it's not good. Don't get me wrong. But, like, I don't think they need a map the size of Skyrim.
And I wonder if... because when you look at the map that the game gives you, a couple of them, which we can get into, it looks real fucking big. But once you start walking someplace, it's not as far as you might think it is.
Yeah.
So, like, and I know the game as it currently sits will probably forever sit. I'm sure they're not updating it anymore. It doesn't look like a terrible area that you're right. There's stuff in there that you can actually do. But I wonder, like, how much more it was they had planned on building out from there. Because even with the areas that you can get to as it is, there's still a lot of empty space.
Yeah, and there's a few places that are clearly half-built.
Yeah. When you're just, like, wandering through the forest and the hills, and then suddenly you see giant white cubes and a sign floating in the air that says, it's still in early access, this area is under development.
Yeah. Cool. What's that gonna be? Who knows? And that's the thing is, like, there's the one area that's like the north of the map that actually looks kind of cool. You get up there and, mind you, a lot of it is still that white cubiness, but then it's like this valley that you actually get to see and stuff, and it's not the worst. But there's nothing there because it's all white cubes and you know it's still under development. How much more development? 4 more years?
Infinite.
Like, if they are still working on this, if they're still a real company, I would expect another half decade before this is anywhere near a playable game. I mean, it's technically playable now, but like an actual real game. It's a real boy.
Yeah, I would say longer, because it's... Well, you want to start to take us through the plot, such as it is, with what's there?
Sure. So, when you enter the game, when you make your first character, you get the, like, one of the, actual good parts of the game. And not good because the story makes sense, but it's a, voiced over, very, like, artistic, giving you background information. Because this is all their own stuff, like, it's, brand new IP type thing. Mm-hmm. They kind of need to explain stuff. I don't think they do a great job of it, but the art's kind of fun. And sure, they're going to do this, hey, here's the story. But then the story doesn't make any sense. So, humans have been fighting for like 1,000 years. And then, after all this, there's death and famine, and the gods, almost as if, this is their own words, the gods hated, humanity and were disgusted with what they had done. The dead start coming back to life, and creatures of evil start populating the world. So, great. Skeletons and demons kind of shit.
Yeah, normal bad shit, sure.
Yeah, right. So, then the humans are in disarray, blah, blah, until the Witch Throne is created, which is a throne of magical power to control the Wytchsun, which is an artificial plane of pure fire magic.
Yep.
Okay. So, and then they use this to burn all the interlopers and bring peace to the world.
Really feel the gravitas of that.
So, real quick on that one, that's kind of horrifying. That it's just like, yeah, whoever sits on the throne, like, they brought peace to the world by fire.
They're sitting on a magical nuke, yeah.
Yeah, it is the magical nuke. They have something that is so much more powerful than everyone else that everything's happy now, because if you're not happy, you are dust. They will incinerate you. They don't cover that at all. That's just skipped over. That is just blatant. Yeah, and that brought the world together.
Yep. That's not even mutually assured destruction.
No, it's just assured destruction.
Assured destruction.
One-sided here, my dudes. So then 1,000 years of peace reigned or some shit. But then suddenly, 10 years ago, without warning, the Wytchsun went quiet. Great. So now there's no more magical fire death. Skeletons and evil beings start creeping back into the world and something like that.
Yep.
That's basically what they give you, which is immediately contradicted by like some of the early lore in the game.
Almost right out the fucking gate, yeah.
Yeah, because it spawns you, well, no, it gives you the character creator. And I'm going to talk about that later, because that's a whole thing. You make your character, you spawn in, it tells you need to meet these people you're supposed to meet by the like docks. This is where the game makes its first mistake. It's first. Well, no, the character creator is the first mistake, but I'm saving that till I talk about all the UI decisions of this game because they're horrendous.
Yeah.
But in terms of gameplay, if you are going to be an open world Skyrim type game, and you tell your player, hey, go here, the first thing you should expect is them to go, no, that doesn't sound like me, and go the other way.
I mean, right? Like, there's a reason in pick an open world game out of the gate. It's very linear in where it needs you to go to progress, not just, hey, it's open, have fun, and then, could you please go to this shack over here? Fuck no, you're not going to. You're going to tear off through the fucking hills.
Yeah, there's something shiny over them in their hills. And this game doesn't do that. Well, it does after this section, which I think is a big mistake because I don't know how many characters I killed by creating a character. The game tells you, hey, go down to the docks. And me going, nah, I'm going to go left instead. Going left, finding a door that's just kind of there, that's not connected to any building. And you're like, where does this go? You click on the door, and then you're suddenly in a void falling through the map and into the abyss. And that killed like 5 different characters of mine.
Yeah, see, I only did it once because you're like, hey, you have to check out the floating door to the abyss. And the fucking idiot that I'm like, fuck yeah, that sounds amazeballs. Although, admittedly, it is.
I mean, when you click on it, you're like, what is this door? And then it's just you plummeting as the map just kind of floats away from you. And you're just like, wait, no, come back.
Bye.
That's entirely a thing. Like, giving your player freedom is good, but players are going to take that freedom if you give it to them. In Skyrim, I can tell you, and it's one of the things that people like about Skyrim, is that you can play it very differently. You know, after the whole Dragon Attack First Town intro, right, where you are quite really railed, like, everyone does that the same way.
Mm-hmm.
Because you can't do it any other way. Afterwards, I went, I think, south, then jumped over a mountain, and, like, tore off towards the north, and eventually getting to the College of Winterhold, and became a mage, and I didn't go to the first town until I was already, like, nearly the Archmage of the College of Mages.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. Because I was like, nah, I'm going to go elsewhere. I got things to do.
Well, you couldn't go to elsewhere in Skyrim.
Not yet. They've got mods.
Well, yeah.
So don't give your player that kind of freedom to fuck around, especially if you're going to put them in a map that is clearly not finished.
Well, you know, at least you had to go through a door to actually fall through the map. You couldn't just, like, you know, go through a non-existent rock and then fall through the map.
Yeah, that's in the next section.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you go down to the docks finally, and it's an ambush. I don't know, some high-level thieves beat you up.
I mean, kind of.
It is an unwinnable, quote-unquote, fight.
Yeah.
Technically, you can summon infinite skeletons for no really explained reason.
Yeah, which is what I did on the second character, and we can get into why I had to have a second character later, but yeah, I was curious what would happen if you summon a thrall army of low-level skeletons. They're like whatever level you are, and they don't do a whole lot of damage, but it doesn't matter when you can spawn them infinitely.
Yeah, you can just literal waves of skeletons, as much as your computer can handle.
Yeah, which you can get enough, it starts to chug, which is hilarious in its own right. But yeah, when like the first people come out and then they're instantly greeted by 30 skeletons all surrounding me in a circle, like just a wall of bone. Come at me, bro. And then like they couldn't get to me, and then they just started getting swarmed by more skeletons. And because, you know, my wall was lacking, I was just spawning in more skeletons around me because I knew there were more coming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's a scripted loss fight.
Ugh, always that good shit, the fucking scripted loss.
Right? And I hate that it starts you out with that, without even any explanation. Here's a scripted loss fight, but if you try, it just makes you feel dumb, because, like, you can. And I have, without the use of infinite skeletons, successfully killed a few of them before. Just by maneuvering and, like, you know, running around rocks and shit.
Yeah.
But then, if you beat them, I'm pretty sure the game is just over because you can't actually advance.
I think, and, like, I should have tested this. Like, I wonder if you keep beating them, if it just keeps spawning more in. Because, like, my skeletons were tearing them apart, again, an infinite number of them. There's no way that that wasn't going to eventually happen.
Yeah.
That, it just seemed like more kept running in.
Maybe. I don't know. So that's the, like, a horrible scripted loss to open the game after the poor open world decision making. It's a bad start.
Yeah.
And then they move you straight into Skyrim, where you're in a cage because you've been captured. Because that's how you actually should start the game.
Yeah.
Like, it sucks that you're straight ripping that, you know, from, like, not just Skyrim, but a lot of games. But that's because that's how you have to start the game, to, like, potentially give some exposition, do some stuff with your character, and then put you through the, what do you call the intro? Tutorial dungeon. Like, that's how you should do it, so it's linear and focused.
Yeah, yeah.
And doesn't feel like you're already taking away player agency by forcing them to lose a fight, even if they were trying to win.
Now, since you're stuck in this cage, and they take all of the equipment that you had...
Yes.
Which wasn't anything great.
Except for your butter knife.
You can still spawn in infinite skeletons, and there isn't anything to attack. However, you can do what I did, and if you just kill them, they drop stuff. Like, they have their own loot table.
Yeah, which is hilarious.
So you could just keep spawning in skeletons while you're waiting in this cage, and then just get kitted right back out. Also, they don't give you any experience, so you can't level up off them, but your combat goes up as you kill them. So, like, waiting for Thing 1 and Thing 2 to meander on over and then exposition at you. Like, I was just murdering skeletons, getting my combat up, and, like, fucking getting better gear.
Yeah, because then you can actually reach Thing 2 through the cage and kill him. So that's a thing that can happen. Game doesn't acknowledge it, because they don't expect you to be able to do this.
Sure.
But it's a trip. Yeah, so then they exposition at you. They found you something. There's a sound globe. So these are things spread throughout the world that are globes that you touch, and they play a pre-recorded message. Now, what?
Well, audio logs are everyone's favorite part of any game, and a great way to get story.
Yeah, so it's literally just audio log, like, info dump. But they're attached to items you have to interact with, that you have to find to interact with. They are very easy to miss. Mm-hmm. They are plentiful, and they are obnoxious, because when they start, they have this wonderful, like, static sound, like a VHS type audio log type thing.
Or a fucking walkie-talkie.
Yeah.
Like, and it cuts in and out.
And it doesn't make sense. It's this magic super, like, recording orb, I guess.
That is assuming, of course, that the audio log that you get is someone talking and not just, like, the sounds of the void.
Well, yeah, because that's, you know, when you accidentally touch an audio log recorded by Beck Morai.
Yeah.
More on that later, I guess. So the very first one is in the prison with you. Why did they just leave that in there? Exposition, that's why.
Well, yeah, that's why there's the scroll in there too, right?
Mm-hmm. Gotta get that exposition.
Something to read while you're pooping through the cage.
Yeah, it's the stupid, like, character who's like, yes, something translated prophecy. You might be important later. Every 400 years, the gods scour the earth. And you're like, wait, what?
Wait, I thought there was 1,000 years of peace.
400 years, they scour the earth with fire. What?
Yeah.
That happened 300. It's actually not. It's like they do this every 402 years, and it's been 400 years, which is a really stupid way of doing it.
Oh, was it? Because I thought it was every 400 had been like 399 years.
No, it's every 401 or 402, and it's been 400 years.
Oh, it's so fucking awkward.
Right? That's not how you do that. But yeah, so in like a year or two, they're going to scour the earth with fire again. But you might be attached to this prophecy. I don't fucking know. No one knows.
No one knows.
They they poison you and throw you in a cave, right? The people who captured you.
Well, the poison was supposed to kill you.
Tutorial cave. There's poison in your heart. That's what the audio log tells you.
Wait, is this the one from the random woman
Yeah.
who was like your significant other or maybe not?
I have no idea. I have no idea who this woman is. But she talks about how you're important because there's poison in your heart. Literally, there's poison in your heart. And you're like, what the fuck is happening?
You're the only person this poison hasn't killed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great.
I don't know, because, like, there are several of her audio logs through Tutorial Cave. And it goes back and forth between, like, story setting plot shit and her just, like, randomly talking. How about, like, cuts where she talks about, like, you two maybe having been together, but not anymore. But she also says it, like, super dismissively. And then, yeah, you're the chosen one. Where's my apples? I'm like, what the fuck is happening?
And I don't know how many audio logs are in this cave.
There's a bunch.
Probably like a dozen.
And they're not all just from her.
And I touched like 3 of them. So that's like, I don't even know half of this shit. I can tell you this cave is really shoddily built in that you can get through a lot of the walls and a couple of the ceilings and get out of bounds.
Ooh.
I did it multiple times.
I was in a spot in a little alcove I shouldn't have been able to get into, but could, and then almost got stuck.
Yeah.
Then I had to use the secret technique to get out.
Secret technique is jumping and summoning skeletons beneath you to create a ladder.
Yes.
Skeleton ladders. They're real and useful.
They're kind of amazing.
So, I mean, it's just a tutorial cave. There's all that. They introduce you to the lockpicking systems of the game, of which there are 2, 3,
3.
4? 4.
4?
Yeah.
Slidey, Elder Scrolls, weird shifty puzzle. What's the... Oh, you're right.
Memory.
Yep. Fucking tile matching. God damn it.
So, the first one is like kind of how lockpicking works, but not really at all. In so much as it shows you a side cutout of the lock, and it's got like pins, and you move your scraper thing forward and backward to push the pins up, and you have to push them up in the right order.
Mm-hmm.
Which is like kind of how lockpicking actually works.
Kind of, yeah.
Again, kind of. That's how you open locked chests. Locked doors is literally Bethesda's lockpicking game.
Yeah.
And I cannot stress this enough when you think, well, maybe they did. No. It is whole cloth Bethesda's lockpicking mini game.
Yep.
You've played Fallout, you've played Skyrim, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, it's a keyhole. It's some like fucking bobby pins you're trying to get at the right angle and then turn the lock.
Yep. That's it.
That is it.
Whew. Later on, you'll find a couple magic devices that also have lockpicking mini games, where one of them is this wheel of shapes that you have to match up. And so like one side will be, the other cut out. It's just like, I don't know how to explain,
Yeah, you get the right one, you hit it, they just like
they
bump
move together, and assuming that they like perfectly match up, it gives you 1 success. You need 3 successes.
Yep, and then it randomly gives you another one. You get to repeat that.
Yep, as you spin the wheel looking for the right shape to match up. And then the teleporter orbs, and some of the voice orbs even. The magic orbs have a memory game where it brings up a bunch of tiles and you flip them over. And when you flip over 2 with the same symbol, they disappear. Why?
Why?
Who does this help?
Well, it helps you in your memory.
No.
Yeah, that's why it needs 4 different lockpicking minigames, because variety, I guess. That's where the fun is in variety.
In lockpicking.
In lockpicking. I don't fucking know, man.
So you get out of the tutorial cave, and they're just kind of like, yeah, go probably to this place.
Okay, so you get the next quest step on one of the sound globes on the floor as you're leaving, where it tells you to go to whatever the name of the town is. You got to go talk to Mace. Only because it's a little tiny orb on the ground that you can totally fucking miss. You might not get that.
Oh yeah, you could easily pass it by, which is not how you want that to go when it's your main quest.
No. Well, on the plus side, you have the HUD to go off of. Well, I say HUD. What I mean is the, think Skyrim, the compass at the top that has vague symbols for shit that's nearby.
Mm-hmm.
Except that, like, for your main quest or anything you're tracking, it's not highlighted in any way, shape, or form.
Correct. It's, hearkening back to those old Elder Scrolls game where you take a quest and it doesn't give you any markers or clue where you're going. Some people might enjoy that. I don't, because it sucks. Like, I get you, maybe you get that you're trying to be immersive or some nonsense, but really what you're doing is making the game obnoxiously hard for no reason.
Yeah, it's just tedious at that point. Just tell me where the fuck it is I'm supposed to go.
Right? Like, you don't have to give me fast travel to it. You just need to tell me where I'm supposed to be going, because we ran into a couple times where just, like, didn't know where the next quest was.
Mm-hmm.
So you go to this stupid town, and I'm going to try to just stick to the main story quests right now, and it won't take long. You talk to Mace. Mace needs you to do a favor before he talks to you. You have to go sanctify his dead dog. Undead dog.
No, that's a side quest.
Is that a side quest?
Yep, the thing that Mace wants you to do is go and talk to the Lyxart ambassador. People have
Because
moved...
he wouldn't give me that quest until I did this other one.
See, because that's the first thing he told me.
Nope, he did not tell me about the Lyxart ambassador until I went and go anointed his dead dog.
Yep, nope.
What a dick.
Well, you had said that the lightning from the Lyxart was a different color too, so like I wonder what some of the weird shit that changes between I don't know, our playstyle, whatever the fuck it was we were doing. Like, there's no reason why it should be different,
right? I mean, I don't know if it had to do with the fact that when you can pick a race, and they clearly say that races aren't necessarily done right now. I picked Lyxart. So I was a jumping lizard man.
Yeah, see, I was just a default human. Both times.
I made myself green. His name was Grok.
I don't remember my first character's name. The second one was a cleric named Chumbley.
So, yeah, I poured magic oil on his dead dog, and then came back to him, and he was like, "Great, thanks."
His dead underwater dog, right?
Yes, his undead underwater dog. And then he told me about the Lyxards, and so I went down. You just it's literally like just not even down at the bottom of the hill from this town. It's like halfway down the hill.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh yeah, here you go. You go in, you kill a bunch of Lyxard because they're nerds.
The Lyxard are big lizard men.
Yep. They rush at you. They've got shield bearers. They've got diplomacy corps, which is always fun when you have a dude charging you with a sword and it says Lyxard diplomacy corps, and you're like, fireball.
This doesn't feel very diplomatic.
So you kill through all of them, you get to the back, and there's a guy who's got a bunch of lightning, some sweet purple lightning, and he gives you a quest to... Does he actually... he gives you a quest, but that's a side quest. Does he do anything else other than, when you go back to Mace, he's like, great, thanks, now go talk to this dude.
Mace just wanted you to go talk to the ambassador, that's it. Yeah, so you get there, you ask him about jumping season, because it's our jumping season. I don't know if we've mentioned that yet. He had sick ass red lightning coming out of his hat for me, which I asked him about, and he's like, well, yeah, if you had a hat, why wouldn't you want it to throw lightning? It's awesome. Which it is awesome. He's right.
And then he wants you to get 100 spoons. Not 100 individual spoons. A box of 100 spoons.
Well, yeah, they have to be unopened. Don't be ridiculous.
And then you leave. Great. You go back to Mace. Mace is like, well, thanks for doing that. And now I'll tell you about... What's the other dude's name?
It starts with a J, right? Hermit monk living out fucking middle of nowhere.
Yep. Here's this hermit monk. He might know more about you and your powers. You go talk to him. And he's like, yes, you might be powerful. His first quest sends you to
Black Gate.
Does it?
Yeah.
Yeah, you go there to get an item because you head into the Brightlands,
Mm-hmm.
and you have to go, which is like the Lakesard world.
Yeah, that's where the Lyxards come from.
So you head to the Brightlands. You get, I can't even remember, some rock.
Yeah, it's some big fucking rock that he needs to translate something or other.
Yeah, so you get that, and then I mean, I could tell you how you do these things, but it's unimportant. You get the big rock, you come back. He then tells you to go. This is where he sends you to that like cliff top place, right?
Yep.
So he gives you a key. You go through this like abandoned temple, and it leads you up to this like cliff top area. And there's an altar, and you feel magic power, but the altar is missing something, so you can't actually activate it. You go back to him, and he's like, "Okay, I can figure that out. But you need to investigate the slithering cult."
Which is weird that they call themselves that, because it would make it sound like snakes, right?
Yeah. I don't get the name at all, because I don't think octopuses slither.
I wouldn't think so, no.
Yeah. So this is where the game starts to break down, and you realize we're like 5 quests into the main quest. And this is where the game starts to break down.
I mean, depending on how much running around outside you've been doing, it broke down a lot sooner than that.
Oh, no. I just mean the main storyline.
Yeah.
Is not that long. You could probably rush this game super fast because it very quickly you start to run into issues of, okay, so go investigate the Slytherin cult. They tell you one of the books is in a den of the Slytherin cult near the Toblerone, and you find it after having very few like actual like directions.
Yeah, your direction is what? One of them's in a warren outside of this place. The other one, nobody knows where it is.
Yep. So you find the warren that you know where it is. Great. You go in, clear a bunch of weird squid face people, steal their book, book it on out of there. You're good. Now, you accidentally found another book.
Yeah.
Out in the world.
Which was the right book, but according to the quest, not the right book.
Right? It's a book of the Slytherin cult. You click on it, and it's like, you read the book, and it tells you stuff, but it doesn't actually, like, advance the main quest.
Yeah.
Okay. So we still need to find this second unknown warren. And I think that's where you are.
Yeah.
Now, me, I was playing. You can't find this. Like I've searched most of the map, no idea. But this game is very poorly coded. So I figured, because whenever you load into the game, it respawns all the enemies, resets all the chests, all the statues, everything.
Mm-hmm.
So I figured, even like if you save and load, you don't even have to like do anything, and it'll just respawn all the enemies.
Yeah,
which is obnoxious, by the way.
If
so,
you
like,
die somewhere and then you have to checkpoint back in, and then suddenly all the enemies are back. Yeah.
But if you like clear an entire area and you save, and then like just all of a sudden you have to reload, and they're all back, and it's so frustrating. So if you just save and reload and go back through the same warren of the Slytherin cult, it respawns all the enemies, and it respawns the book. So you beat them all up, you take the second book of Beck Morai, and the quest is like, yeah, you did it! You got 2!
Yeah, and like it irritates me that I didn't think of that. Although at this point I was on character number 2.
So then you take the books back to him, and he says, great, I have a statue of Beck Morai. Beck Morai is some, like, Cthulhu-like squid being.
Yeah, I couldn't ever figure out if Beck Morai was, like a Cthulhuoid, right? Just a dude with a squid on his face, or just a giant squid.
We never know, because Beck Morai is, like, the god of the squid people. I mean, he's got a whole diome. I'm gonna just leave that there.
Yep.
So he has a statue of Beck Morai that he has procured, and it has a bunch of weird symbols on it, and if you can figure it out, it will take you to the diome of Beck Morai. Not like the biome or the plane. It's the diome, which I don't even know if it's a real word.
Yeah, it's where the god lives. It's its sphere.
Sure.
Makes sense.
So you press the buttons. You eventually find the right combination. I don't think you had to fuck around with it because I already knew the combination.
Yeah, no, because I just asked you because, yeah, you'd already figured it out.
Yeah. So you punch in the buttons and it teleports you to the Diome of Bakmorai, which is this weird, like, pink-purple place with a bunch of, like, seaweed weirdness and flying squids, and it sounds like whales are constantly flying through the air, even though they aren't.
It's purple as fuck.
Yeah, there's pyramids and statues all over the place.
Teleporters all over.
Yep. And what he tells you need to do is that within the Diome of Bakmorai, there is a teleporter to the what is it? The Snail Sea.
Yeah.
And he says when you get to the Snail Sea, there is another teleporter that will take you to the ruins of Old Lydia, which is like where you are, I guess. I don't know. Like, I don't know where this is supposed to be.
That's what I wasn't sure. Like, do you think that, like, the Brightlands and Old Lydia are, like, the same planet, or, like, they're different?
I don't know. That's like they just kind of leave all this stuff open, and it's very confusing. So you need to go to Old Lydia and find an altar with a magic gem. So you go to the Diome of Bakmorai. You go to this weird golden snail statue. You press it. It teleports you to this giant ocean area.
Which I'd actually gotten there another way.
Yeah.
On accident.
Because there's a ton of fucking teleporters in this game.
Yes, there are.
And then you come out of that, and there's a couple teleporters, one of which will teleport you to the World of Doors. Don't touch that one.
Don't touch that one. Oh my god.
And then the other one takes you to Old Lydia, which is a world of fire. Like, lava escaped, everything is destroyed, fire. Doesn't hurt you, but it's just like everything looks like lava. And that's it. If there's more to this game, I can't find it.
Yeah, no, you and I were talking as we were both looking for the second book that, like, there's a good chance that it's just not even in the game. And, like, there's no way for us to know that. So, like, the fact that you cheated the game and got to the next quest, like, there's no way to know if it's actually a thing that you can find or not.
Yeah, I mean, that's because there's no indication of where you're supposed to be going. And I get that, I guess you're trying to have me search, but this area is gigantic. It is basically barren. And you have nowhere near enough stamina to keep sprinting.
No, God, no.
So you're just slowly walking around this giant cragged surface going, maybe something will show up. It doesn't. That's just the end of the game.
So you had said there's teleporters all over, and I had gotten stuck. My first character, I accidentally got stuck in, quote, the Forest of Doors. What is the Forest of Doors, you might wonder? Well, close your eyes and picture a nice hill, couple hills. The sky above is all bright yellow lightning. There are giant mushrooms, and all around you in every direction is doors. Nothing but doors. Doors as far as the eye can see. If you keep running, there's just more doors. And you can't interact with any of them. You just run right through them. And there's a little note that says there's a door that's an exit, and another door leads to the gift shop somewhere. Both are lies. You can't escape. If you're there and you don't have anything to teleport you out of there, that's you now. Mm-hmm. And it sucks. Oh my god, it sucks so bad.
Yeah, it's one of the many weird design decisions of, like, there is basically a trapped world. Like, you can touch a teleporter not knowing exactly where it takes you, and it teleports you to a world you cannot escape.
Now, what's funny about that is if you are in the Diome of Bakmorai, there's a little scroll outside the Forest of Doors portal that tells you you can escape.
Yeah.
That is not how I got there, though. I found a portal to the Sky World, which was just a door. I floated in, I hit the sea first. I landed in the Snail Sea. I made my way to an island. I prayed to a fucking octopus. A glowing globe showed up out of nowhere. I hit that. which then took me to the fucking Sky World, and the Sky World that I couldn't escape from took me to the Forest of Doors. Yeah. Perfectly clear and logical.
Yeah, all that tracks. And that's like just some of the weird places that this game can take you. There is a library at the end of the universe.
Oh man, I never got to there.
It's a giant library.
I did find the Squid Abyss.
Yep, I've been to the Squid Abyss. And then if you go to the Smog, which is a tavern between dimensions, quite literally.
Yes.
It's full of just weirdness.
Yeah, it is.
Which I kind of love.
Fucking A.
Like, the Smog is so insane that it's one of the few things that I'm like, this is more of what I want.
You mean like the prostitute that's currently a dollhouse because it's daytime?
Yep.
Because she was a big woman. She gave a wizard the clap, which is why she has a curse on her. Mm-hmm. He said she was as big as a warehouse, and then an idea struck him, and now she's only a woman at night.
She is a warehouse. Which
is such an awful pun, and I can't help but love that.
Right, there's a guy who attempted to cast a spell to make everyone dance, but then, like, it rebounded on him because he realized that dancing is the way of life!
Well, he also opens with everything that he's about to tell you is a lie, so...
Yeah, but he's just dancing forever. Yeah. There are multiple teleporters here. One will take you to supposedly learn the Dance Man's secrets. It's a bunch of weird platforms floating through space that just are like fights.
Yep.
There is a teleporter behind him that is the purple something.
Yeah, what? Because they all have fucking names.
It's like the purple inconsequence or something.
Yeah.
And you touch it, and it just gives you this strip floating through space that has like 30 teleporters on it.
Well, because like the Forest of Doors, I think, is the infuriation of yellow.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's the something of purple. Oh my god, I don't remember what they all are.
And so, at least most of these just teleport you right back to where you started. One of them teleports you to Old Lydia, and full of lava. I don't know about the rest of them. Didn't spend the time to touch all of them.
I didn't touch all of them. I don't know.
There is the gold something annoyance, which is a labyrinth.
The annoyance of gold.
A literal labyrinth. And it's not small. You think, like a video game labyrinth. Nope. Just like a giant labyrinth that doesn't tell you anything about where you are or where you should be going.
Yeah, because I didn't, like, until you pulled it up just before we were recording, like, because I never checked it out. It is fucking huge. Holy shit.
Yup. I tried to do it regular style and just found it infuriating until I used a skeleton ladder to climb to the top of the walls and then just ran over the top of the labyrinth to find the exit. This game is well built. There's so many weird people in here. Like, you can talk to a crystal that supposedly holds the energy of a Dark Lord.
Yep.
You can pledge your allegiance to him, which I absolutely did.
Right? He gives you powers, in quotations.
Yep.
That I don't actually think does anything.
I kind of doubt it.
There's the magic spell book that wants you to kill everyone in the tavern.
Yep. He says he'll teach you the strongest spell in the world if you kill everyone in this tavern. I tried. They're all immortal.
Well, I tried, but Crime's not in the game yet, so you couldn't kill him. Is that a little pop-up? Crime's not in the game.
Weird.
Fuck you. Like, let me murder these people.
Because you can murder villagers left and right.
Where is that song coming from? Oh my god.
And then there's this weird song that I have to assume was one of the developers. Just like, and it goes on and on. It's the weirdest thing.
Yeah, it's what, like 3 or 4 verses and it just loops repeatedly. And it's super fucking catchy, which is what gets to be the most.
And it's nonsense. It's just like, for a period, he just makes sounds like oink, 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 and woof, woof, woof. And you're, what is happening?
He's like, he's as smelly as a scabian. And then I couldn't tell you what the rest of it is because it's just noise.
It's so weird.
Something like a camel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's exactly. It's like all these weird statements that don't make any sense, and then weird animal noises, I guess. And that's like the game. The gameplay plays out like Skyrim, right? It is although you do not get the option of third person, right? Skyrim gives you that option. It's bad, don't use it. I hate playing that game third person. But, so it's a first person, hands are in front of you, like RPG. You have spells, you've got swords, shields. Combat is, active, not turn-based. You run up and hit things, shield, block, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, the hit detection is suspect.
The hit detection is terrible. Your attack speed is, like, weirdly variable depending on which attack your character decides to do, which you don't have control over.
Nope.
Whether they decide to do a thrust or a swing. There's heavy attacks, which maybe do something more. You've got your shield. You've got spells if you want them, which you can either wield a spell book to do full casting, or you can do, there's a battle mage stance where you have like a weapon in one hand and a spell in the other, which is what I did the whole time. There's 3 types of magic. There is elemental magic, planar magic, and dark magic.
Mm-hmm. You could run full on archer if that's what you're feeling.
There is sneaking. I don't think either of us put any points into that.
No.
Because the AI detection and everything in this game is already suspect as hell.
Yeah.
I did not want to try it.
Nope. No, you went spellcaster. I went cleric. So, and it's one of the things that I really kind of enjoyed about this game. And the like normal fantasy weapons, your axes, your hammers, your swords. You can also wield like a shovel or a broom. And if you wield a shovel or broom per se, it is considered a humble weapon, and using humble weapons grants you favor from the gods. So I would have my shield and my broom, and I would run into battle, and I would just smack the shit out of stuff with the broom until the gods thought I was doing a great job, and they would turn the broom into a flaming sword, and then I would cut things in half.
What's funny is if you go dark cleric, you can use a sickle as a humble weapon.
Oh, that's sick.
Right? That's totally fair. This is the very humble sickle.
Yeah. You're there to reap.
We say all of these things. There is a big skill tree. It looks horrible. It barely explains things, and it looks horrible.
Yeah, and I don't think the numbers that it gives you or what it's actually doing.
Absolutely not.
Well, no, I take that back, except for the very incremental increases in carrying capacity, because it totally fucks you on carrying capacity.
It absolutely does. No, I think they might be. It's just that you think the numbers might be better, right? So, like, there's a... something will give you plus 20% damage. The highest damage weapon in the game is, like, 30 damage. Period. So, like, plus 20% isn't even giving you plus 2 to damage. It's not even giving you plus 1. What is it even good for?
Okay, so I have my broom, and let's say normal skelly man, and I would smack him with a broom, and it would do, let's say, 1/5 of his health. Like, by the time where I'm at currently in the game, a broom hits okay. Like, and it swings really fast, so it makes up for the smacking somebody in the face with a broom. The flaming sword, the level 1 upgrade, it hits much harder. The rune sword, the like grand miracle, like end all be all sword that you have a random chance of getting, that thing hits like a fucking truck. Like, there are plenty of just little ads that it will one shot.
Yeah, I mean, I was battle mage and I was just casting fireball the whole time, and fireball would 2-hit literally almost every enemy in the game. Small ads, skeletons, wolves, that kind of spiders, I would one shot them.
Yeah,
and then most enemies would just be 2 shots with fireball. Oh, the hit detection is really horrible on ranged weapons.
Oh, right, because if you're using a bow or spells, there's no like aim assist
at all, and the like hit detection is so incredibly tight to their like frame that it might as well be inside their frame, because you can shoot between like their limbs.
Yeah, it's an awful like precise hitbox for like an arrow.
And you can sometimes watch your spell travel through spiders, because the spiders, what do you call the big fat back part of the spider?
I want to say thorax.
Yeah, the big fat back part is not actually a hitbox.
Yeah.
Just the main body, because that was well designed. I hate that shit. Look, if you're gonna give them a hitbox, it needs to extend to at least the full character model. And multiple, especially the tall enemies, break that significantly. There's an abomination, which is a super tall squid man. There is the brewer, which is a big skeleton man with a bunch of alcohol on his back.
Yeah.
Their hitboxes don't extend up past their waist. Because like their waist is normal enemy height.
Yeah.
They don't bother giving them extra tall hitboxes. So if you shoot a spell through their torso, they don't take damage.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it just flies right through them and nothing happens.
Yeah, I mean, like the big enemies, I was just smacking them in the knee with a broom.
Yeah,
so it
because
wasn't that
that's
big a deal.
where their hitbox is.
Yeah.
But if you have ranged weapons, that hitbox needs to extend the rest of the character model.
Yeah.
I don't think I can fully explain to you people how bad the UI is on this. Seriously, it's so bad.
It is, okay. To the coders out there that have ever just like put in a hello world, have you ever done that where you just like make a little box in Java? You know what I'm talking about? Just
Yes.
some like baby's first programming, right? Like just the box, the text doesn't sit in there, right? That's all of this game.
Mm-hmm. And if you sometimes interact with multiple things, the multiple boxes will layer on top of each other.
Oh, yeah, they
and
do.
you have no idea what you're actually interacting with. It's fucking choice. Or you open your inventory and sometimes you're just not allowed to interact with your inventory.
Well, sometimes you have a disease that locks your inventory out because you got bit by a spider or a wolf.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, not always. Like sometimes it just decides you're not using anything now, but
Yeah, no, like you can open your inventory will be up, and the game's just like, no, you can't interact with any of this stuff. Which makes drinking potions a real bitch when you're just like trying to drink a potion mid-combat, and the game's like, whoa, you're probably attacking right now, therefore potions are off limit.
or if you wanted to drop something from your inventory and then it kicks you out of the inventory.
Yep, every time you want to drop something, because there's no button to quick drop, you have to drag the item out of your inventory, and when you do, it closes your inventory manually. So that's cool.
Ooh, man, trying to buy or sell something from a shop.
Oh my god, the shops are horrendous. Why would you do that?
So, you know how you're in a fantasy game and each specific shop owner will only sell you certain items, right?
Yes.
What if, and I know you love this, Jason, what if they will only buy certain items too?
I hate that.
Yeah, it sucks fucking ass.
Yeah.
Oh, also, because like you have the weird shop menu, then you have to click sell, which opens up its whole a whole other box.
Yep.
Then you all of the stuff that you have equipped is what is listed first. So if you sell any of that, it's what you were actually using. So watch that shit. And then you get to scroll through, click on something, and then see if the person will buy it. If they don't want to buy it, it'll tell you that they're not interested, and then you have to open up the sell menu again because it fucking kicks you out of there.
Yeah. You have to navigate all these menus that are clunky and horrible to use. And then it's just like, no, I don't want that. What? No, buy my things.
Yeah, so like you think, oh, the blacksmith, he must just like buy weapons. Well, no, if he's got one, he won't buy another one from you because he's got one. Like you had a regular sword. Well, he doesn't need a regular sword. You can go fuck yourself. Well, I've got this splendid ceremonial axe. And he's like, nah. I will take that shit-ass Warhammer, though. Great.
Yep. It's awful. I did get high enough in my magic casting that I could learn the strongest fire spell in the game, Incinerate. And Incinerate instantly kills you.
That is so fucking funny.
I found it vaguely amusing. Thankfully, because by the time I got to that, I saved the game every minute. As soon as you try to do something new, you should save the game.
Yeah.
Whether it's teleport or go to a different thing.
Open a chest.
You should save it before you do that.
Look at a door.
So I was used to just spam saving. And yeah, it just explodes. You cast Incinerate and there's no range on it. There probably is supposed to be. It's just wrong. That fireball shoots out and when it hits something it explodes. Now mind you, the explosion is all graphic. It actually doesn't have any AoE damage. It only damages the thing you hit with it.
Ugh.
So it's basically not fireball, it's super firebolt, but
yeah.
it does enough damage that it's fine as a spell. It's wrong in its description and they should fix that, but Incinerate I might actually have an area of effect, but it's impossible to tell because as soon as you cast it, there's just fire everywhere and you take 100 points of damage.
I don't know if I was using any sort of magic, I might have tried to check it out since as a cleric, I had a couple skills that there was a chance that if I would have taken enough damage that it would kill me, I would just have full health.
Yeah.
But it'd just cheat death. So like half the time as I'm running around, like I wouldn't even bother with health potions because it didn't matter. Like you can't kill me.
Yeah, there's I think 3 different skills that let you cheat death.
Yes.
And they all stack such that they all have their own separate rolls. And it's ridiculous.
Yeah. Oh, also, in addition to getting the flaming sword, there's the occasional chance I'll just get a heal as I'm attacking things. So it's just like hit, full heal, hit, full heal. Fucking sweet.
Yeah, it ain't bad.
Yeah, you just have to put up with the prayer chanting constantly. Like, I don't know if you noticed when you were playing it a little bit earlier when you whipped out the fucking rune sword, right?
Yeah.
If you could hear the chanting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because that doesn't go away.
Nice.
Yeah, it's fucking perfect. Now, it does stop sometimes if you sheath the sword and then you whip a broom back out. Because magic! It sometimes decides it still wants to chant, which is super awkward.
Well, again, well-built game.
You know what, though? Like, I can handle the chanting as long as it's not the screaming loud happy tree forest.
So, another one of the places that you can teleport to, because there's a lot of them, is the Lyxard refugee camp.
No, it's Malamar.
Yeah. Well, it's full of Lyxards.
Is it? I don't know.
Yeah.
I wasn't in there. Well, I wasn't up top that long.
You go in, and it is this weird, just like bridges amongst trees. And it's not like it's well designed, like it looks like they're supposed to be there. Like between trees, they're just kind of like suspended amongst the trees.
Yeah, it's less Ewok Village and more just somebody jams some random bridges at some treetops.
It has a song that plays, and it plays in other places.
Yeah.
And this song is relentlessly happy.
But the first time we ran into it, you were streaming.
Yeah.
And dear God, it's deafening.
And that's the thing, is it's relentlessly happy and relentlessly loud. My God. At one point I had to turn my volume down to 2. The lowest it goes, because it jumps by 2s. Just so that people on the stream could even come close to hearing me.
Yeah.
It is deafening.
And then sometimes the sounds will layer, like nothing overrides anything else. So if you happen to stumble across multiple sound globes, you can hit them all at once and just listen to that fucking cacophony. Or in my case, you can have the miracle chanting going on with the Happy Forest song playing, and then like the rah, rah, going off randomly because you found a zombie that wants to dance with you.
Mm-hmm.
All at the same time.
Or, you click one of the ancient statues, do the stupid spinny puzzle game, and then you complete it, and it goes, Whoa!
Yes.
And you're like, what the fuck? Yeah, that's like the statues yell at you. Why? No one knows. No one can know.
It is unknowable. I mean, there's like smaller nitpicky shit I could probably think of, but I'm
so much stuff.
Ready to wrap this one up.
So many things are so poorly implemented in this game. And that comes, I guess, we don't necessarily need to fully dissect this thing because it's really poorly built.
Yeah.
When I said, that's how I got past where we got stuck in the game was just by assuming the game was poorly built enough that it would let me do the same quest twice and count it as good, and it did. That's this game. It lets you pick up the same quest multiple times. Not even like, you complete that quest, then you go back, and then you complete it again. You can actually just pick up the same quest multiple times.
Yeah.
You can do that with the main quest if you just keep talking to the same dude over and over again. He just will constantly give you the quest. The quest log is horrible. Every UI in this game is wrong and bad. And that is one of the worst things to me. Like, the functionality of the game is hindered so much by not being able to navigate basic menus. Game's not good. The game is occasionally at times amusing. The streams were amusing because it was a nightmare hellscape at times because it's bad. But without a usable UI, I can't even pretend to have enjoyed it because I'm just frustrated so much of the time trying to be like, I want to heal, and the game being like, I don't know if your inventory's open right now. And I'm like, but it's right there. Let me heal. It's very short because they're clearly nowhere near done with the game. It's got whole sections of the game that are unfinished. And then at the end, it comes down to, as I said, despite the somewhat amusing times I had with it, I do not trust any company that is hiding their own game multiple times. It's a bad game. No one else should play it. We played it. And despite the fact that I got more enjoyment out of this than some of the other things we've played, you still should not go play this.
See, I'm right there with you. Like, when I started this game and I was attempting to play this series, this game it's not a serious game. It's silliness. Like, the main story, they're trying to have a more serious, I hesitate to say full-on serious, fantasy story. But all of the surrounding shit is just, it's absolute silliness. Like, the item descriptions, the people that you talk to, it's all batshit, right?
Yeah.
And, like, going into this at first, it really fucking irritated me, and then I got stuck forever in the Forest of Doors, and I find that hilarious. Infuriating that there's no way out of there. And I tried. Motherfucker, I tried. But you can't, so I had to start over. And, like, I had some good times because this game, it's broken. It is janky as fuck. It is weird as hell, and there is nothing anywhere that is going to explain any of it to you. However, these shady fucks still want to charge $25 for this game. For this quote-unquote game. For what? An early access tech demo of this shit that barely works? Like, I did enjoy my time with it. I'm not going to play it anymore because I don't have to. We're done. Woo! But I can't, like, I can't in any sort of good consciousness say that other people should play this. No. They got money from us for this, which is more money than they deserved. Even if it was free, I don't know, man. Like, there's other things that you can spend your time on that's not, like, even supporting these people through those downloads. Because it's not worth it. It's not worth it because of all the music they ripped off. It's not worth the weird shady shit that they're doing. Like, half of this game is straight up Skyrim sounds. Like, it's so fucking bad.
I like that it took us that long to remember to mention that when you load in, it is literally the, like, Skyrim level up sound. And, like, that just plays and you're like, oh god. You could not be more ripping off Skyrim at this moment.
Yeah, and that's like what? The only thing that we recognized that we knew it was ripping off because there's gotta be other stuff.
Oh, absolutely.
But yeah, like, oh man, don't support this game or these developers. This whole thing's shitty.
Yep. And now that we're through that nonsense, and I never have to play Wytchsun ever again, we answer letters from listeners. Like you.
Listeners.
My phone ever unlocked. All right. So this week we got a letter from, I guess we'll just say Neil Breen Fanboy 69 is back. Loving every second of the podcast still. For this week's question, he poses to us a scenario. Oh, this question. I forgot I read this question once and almost murdered this man.
Oh, Breen Boy, what have you done now?
For those of you that don't know, I know this man in real life, and he is going to be physically assaulted. Congrats, you've become the newest member of the storyboard team at Square Enix. Because no better jobs were available. In this morning's meetings, you've learned that you have acquired the Sonic IP.
No!
This guy.
Fuck!
And the president wants to incorporate this into Kingdom Hearts 4.
Fuck you. Fuck you, Brain Boy.
So, basically, how do you,
Suicide, it's the only way out.
Yeah, he's asking about how you would do that. No.
Murder first.
No. I can't reasonably even answer this question. Like, I want to as like a, some kind of weird, but I can't. Like, that shit's insane, man. You see how long it took to explain Kingdom Hearts? There's not. You can make anything you want up. Literally anything.
Look, if you just have to jam Sonic into Kingdom Hearts, that's they fucking bullshit portal their way to fucking Sonic World or whatever. Like, that's not...
No, even better. Like, fuck that. Sonic portals his way into their world. And they're like, what? And Sonic's like, yeah, you're part of an even bigger universe you didn't even realize.
No!
Like, he flies in on the Sonic ship.
Oh my God.
He's visiting Kingdom Hearts like they visit other movies.
Oh,
he's visiting their game.
Much. No! God! Yes, though, that is like the perfect kind of convoluted dumb shit that they would do. Like, he just fucking Super Saiyan Sonics his way in, and then fucking Shadow's there, and then time stops. And no one ever explains. Like, he just like there, blinks, and then it's gone, and no one ever fucking addresses it for the next 18 games. Yeah, no, it's just like fucking Square Enix bullshit. Of course, it all happened to cutscenes, so you can't actually do anything about it. Mm-hmm. Fucking hate this so fucking much.
Or alternatively, they just literally don't explain it. Like, it's fucking Sora in the fucking gummy ship, and it's Donald, Goofy, and Sonic.
Yeah.
And he's just sitting in like a fourth seat behind them, and they never address it. He's just always been there, quote unquote.
They all just talk like he's always been there, yeah.
Yeah. They're like, oh, hey, Sonic, so when did you get here? What did you think of the most recent... And everyone's just runs with it. And you're like, wait, what? No, Sonic isn't in this. Then you go back to the old game and he's not there. And you're like, what? Clearly this is a continuity discrepancy. And Square Enix goes, no, it's not. Because we said so. And that's it. Because they're not going to explain shit. Because they can't.
So Sonic would just be the Mr. Poopy Butthole.
Yeah.
Great. Love it. I would rather that than it be part of a larger universe, because there's no end there. There's no end.
There is no end. I kind of love that, because then like Sonic comes in, you're part of this larger universe, and he drags Sora into the big super universe, and then they start visiting other game series of Square. So like you go to the Quiet Man universe, and you just get to have this full Square pantheon of garbage shit that they put out.
Ah, yes. Make Sora deal with it. Yes, this includes you fuck.
Anyway, I'm gonna go beat this man with a box full of nickels.
Do we have any other questions?
No, we're cutting it there. If you have more questions, please email thebadgamecast@gmail.com. We could always use more things to talk about on these podcasts, but for that, that's the plug section. So the email, thebadgamecast@gmail.com. Questions, comments, concerns, things you want us to read live on air, even if they're just torturous mind games. If you want to interact more directly, you can tweet at @thebadgamecast or at Jake Prey if you want him. I run the Bad Gamecast's actual Twitter, so realize you're tweeting at me. So if you want Jake to answer something, you should probably include him in the tweet at least.
Yep.
If you check out the Facebook page, I occasionally update it. I'm sad to say that as of recording, it's basically updated, but...
What are you, sick?
Right? End of the world, folks.
Ugh.
Coronavirus. Can't leave the house. Guess I'll update the Facebook page. Beep, boop, beep, doop, beep. What do we got? We got a subreddit. You can go there. All the episodes are uploaded there. They're numbered. You can comment if you want. No one does. If you see the Bad Gamecast out and about on Reddit, you can say hi. I guess. We don't use Reddit that much. I mean, like, as a way to promote ourselves. We should, but we don't.
Nah, it's mostly just random comments and lurking at other subreddits.
Yep. The Twitch streams are Monday through Thursday, 6-ish to whenever we stop streaming. There's geese in the background right now. Honk, honk. I don't know if the mic picked that up at all, so that might just sound like me being a crazy person, which I'm not. I'm crazy people. If you don't catch any of those Twitch streams live, obviously they hang out as VODs on Twitch for 2 weeks, but they're up longer. Every Friday, all the Twitch streams get uploaded to the YouTube account, which also is currently dropping in all this lovely podcast audio. If you are in a place where you can't access your podcast but can get to YouTube, you can listen to the episodes there. Not fully yet. We're still getting all of those kind of uploaded and caught up.
We should be pretty close by the time this one comes out.
Yeah, so those will hopefully be caught up pretty soon. And then you can, if you're, again, just on YouTube, you can listen to the audio for all these episodes. No video as of yet, and probably for quite a while, because that's just not what we are set up for.
Oh, no.
There's, I think, everything other than the Patreon, which patreon.com/thebadgamecast. If you'd like to support us, we'd love to have you. There is, by the time this comes out, there is an actual special episode up of the Bad Gamecast's Good Gamecast, talking about things we like. That is still the name of that horrible micro episode. There's probably more to come of that.
Look, I love it. I want our Patreon, like, the titles of them to just be, like, super long and unwieldy.
Longer and longer and longer.
Yes.
Yeah, it'll be perfect. So we have a thing about Monster Hunter World up. There's another one that we're, as of the time of this coming out, hopefully we'll have recorded, but I almost assuredly will not have edited. Promises.
And if you're wondering what it takes to get into our Patreon to access those special episodes, that's at any level, correct?
I believe so.
Which is just the one level that we have, so.
I might tinker with it a little, but who knows?
Yeah,
anyway, all your support is always super appreciated. It helps us keep running this thing. But that's about it, I think. Yeah.
Did you mention the Discord?
Oh shit, there's a Discord. It's a mess. There is a Discord if you'd like to pop in, talk about any particular episodes, talk about our streams, suggestions, anything you want to drop in there. We're bad at things, so it's really kind of barren and poorly built right now.
Yeah, speaking of stuff that we're tinkering with. However, we do get some community discussion going on in there, so come join us.
Yeah. Gotta be everywhere, apparently. But still no Instagram.
Yet.
Still no Instagram.
Like, I'm still not on that LinkedIn plan, but...
Nope.
It'll be magical. All right, well, for the Bad Gamecast, I've been Jake.
I have been Jason.
Good night, everybody!
Good night, everybody.
Ugh, why?
Boop, 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 boop.
Oh, no.
Please reset.
I don't know what to do with that, my man. Yeah.
Oh, fuck, I don't know.
Cue the sound cube about what's his name, the guy that sings the song, the blacksmith. Let's not even talk about like the random sound cubes that were just advertisements.
Bruh, there's so much shit in this game. Also, I play with the game muted, so because there's no option for captions, by the way, I should have brought that up. There is no captioning option.
Why would there be?
Yeah.
So like there's options that you could adjust, so that's everyone's surprised.
Like, I couldn't listen. I didn't listen to the sound cubes, and because it wouldn't let me read them, I don't know what most of them said.
So you didn't get the one guy's song constantly anytime. Oh, nope. You lucky prick. Yeah, we didn't talk about the food or how it like doesn't actually do anything.
Yeah, it heals you.
Yeah.
And is immediately so outpaced by potions that you should never pick up food.
Yeah, it's extra weight.
There's whole crafting systems that neither of us got into, like just straight up.
Not because I didn't want to. I could literally never get it to work.
Right? Didn't know how it worked.
I knew how it worked. I just I would have the stuff and be like, yeah, you failed. And I'm like, what the fuck? How am I supposed to get better at this if you don't let me pass it so I could get fucking better?
Yep. Well built.
God.